Friends, in today's episode on correct politics, I would like to talk to you about the situation in Afghanistan. Taliban has taken over, they are about to form the government, they overran the elected government in no time, beyond anyone's prediction. Even before the Americans and the NATO forces could withdraw from Afghan soil, the Taliban were captured in Kabul. The whole world is outraged, at least the democratic world, about the so-called barbaric actions of Taliban, particularly their attitude towards women. Even the children in the takeover process were not spared. They were in fact mercilessly beaten up. In many cases, they were also killed. The sensibilities of people believing in human rights have been really deeply hurt by what is happening in Afghanistan. But how did a country like Afghanistan, which is a member of SAARC association, an independent, non-aligned, sovereign country, come to this pass? If we look at the history of Afghanistan, it has fought several wars with imperialist powers. Among the tribes within the country, as Afghanistan consists of various tribes, yet they have a reputation of not being conquered by any outside power. The regions that are adduced to such a spirit and valor of Afghan people is because of the terrain and their history of tribalism. The terrain is mountainous. Almost half of Afghanistan consists of mountains. So the Afghan fighters could really maneuver their movement around the mountains and launch guerrilla tactics in fighting the invaders. So that has been the history of Afghanistan. But in the recent times, when Soviet Union came into Afghanistan in 1979, Afghanistan was really captured by one superpower then. It was Soviet Union then. The controversial excuse given by Soviet Union was that they were invited by the Taraki government to help him stabilize his power. But that was a hoax really. Soviet Union came to Afghanistan to get closer to the sea route. Soviet Union has been a landlocked country. They didn't have much access to the waterways, so they wanted to come through Afghanistan to the ocean, and they were not very far, some 300 kilometers from Hormuz. But the Mujahideen, which launched a resistance movement to Soviet Union, backed by Americans at that time, really broke the Soviet Union Army's confidence, and after a decade of war, Soviet Union withdrew from Afghanistan. When Mujahideens transformed, at least a bulk of them, mutated into a new group called Taliban, which are in power now. Taliban consolidated in Afghanistan, ironically supported materially and in terms of arms supply through Pakistan by Americans. Americans thought they would fight Soviet invasion in Afghanistan by making Pakistan an ally and frontlining Pakistan as a counter weight to Soviet Union. And Taliban was an accomplice of Pakistan in this venture. So Americans were arming Taliban through Pakistani army. When the Twin Tower attack took place in 2001 in United States, carried out by Al Qaeda, and Afghanistan sheltered Al Qaeda, Americans came in to hunt down Osama bin Laden in particular, to punish him for the dastardly attack in New York. Now the rest is history. Finally, bin Laden was found in Pakistan. He was taken out and killed by American forces. So the two players that I would like to talk about in this Afghanistan episode is one, the United States, because after Soviet Union disintegrated, United States is the superpower, and they had a big strategic interest in Afghanistan. They stayed there for 20 years and spent some $3 trillion to tame Taliban and foster an elected government. So America was the key player, and India as the new ally of America in the region, in Quad, in the India-Pacific, is another player. More so because the developments in Afghanistan will have serious and severe geopolitical consequences for India.